Good morning, friends. Welcome to episode 72 of the Make Saints podcast. I'm Drew Downs, and this one is called Generations. Now, I saw this comment a while back that said that Generation X will age out of social media. And I was like, have our parents? And then I was like, also, maybe? Yeah, age out. It got me thinking about generations in the common mindset, like in the things that we say to one another about generations and about age groups and about how people will act and behave. And I think that people get mixed up between two different concepts of generation. And one is the time of life, and the other is a generational cohort, right? What I mean by time of life is young people, right? Whatever young is at the moment, like middle age, old people, right? Kids, youth, right? Seniors, right? These different times in our life where things happen, different behaviors happen. There's a lot that we can say about young people and a lot that we can say about the elderly, right? That's time of life. And then there's the generational cohort, right? This is people experiencing the world together at the same time. And so we have common experiences which affect our decision-making and the things we're going to do. A lot of the time of life stuff, though, is just assumptions. One of the most common ones we used to hear was, they'll come back to church when they have kids. This was something we heard a lot in the 80s and 90s and 2000s about really my generation and those after us, that we would return to the church once we had kids because that's what you do. Like that was how it was presented. It's often based, however, on the behavior of the last cohort's experience. What is not being interrogated, right, in that particular example is that last generation was the first generation to just abandon church. And so the baby boomers, and then so they actually, many of them did come back to church when they had kids. So it was then suddenly treated like instead a universal truth. This is what you do at this time of your life. But really it was just what the boomers did. So, going back to Gen X and social media, right? This is why Gen X won't age out of social media, because it's not a thing you do. It's not demonstrated as a thing that happens in the world at an age, right? At a time of life. But as a generational cohort, we are the ones most likely to quit social media because it sucks, right? So at a certain point, we do need to accept that there are some things we actually can say about age groups. Like, it's important to be able to talk about things that happen at certain times of life, right? But it is far more about particular truths about generational cohorts that matter, right? Which tells us that there is real value in learning about a particular experience rather than assuming it as a given. And perhaps even more importantly, that the way things are is not the way they always are. You need to stop pretending like this is what happens when, and we just have like one generation that did it. Right? It's not how things are. It's just how they did it. So maybe rather than assume things will happen like they did for us, we actually make things better for the next generation. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.